In 2017, the long-awaited return of Everybody's Golf finally arrived onto the PlayStation 4, but after years of memories made, the online servers were shut down on September 30th, 2022. So now the big question is Everybody's Golf still worth playing today? Let's say you're a brand new player and you purchased a physical game, bought the game digitally, or more than likely downloaded the game with your PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium membership. You'll see this notice on the game's official store page. It clearly says the game can still be played offline, but what are you in for and how much of the game is still enjoyable? But first, a word from today's sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. Injured and don't know where to start? With Morgan & Morgan, it's so easy. If you're like poor Pumpkinhead here, his golf game has been off ever since that horrible golf carting accident. But his golfing buddies suggested Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. With Morgan & Morgan, you can submit a claim without ever having to leave the couch. Gone is the hassle of visiting law offices, sitting through consultations, and going through paperwork. Who has time for that? It's the 21st century. Morgan & Morgan has modernized the law injury process. In 8 clicks or less, you can easily submit a claim to Morgan & Morgan for a lawyer to review your case. Morgan & Morgan has over 800 attorneys operating in 49 states. They are not a traditional law firm. It's so simple to submit case details, sign contracts, upload documents, and medical records, all from your cell phone. You can even text your attorney and legal team throughout the case. Morgan & Morgan doesn't sell for less, and neither should you. If you're ever injured in an accident, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. You can submit a claim in 8 clicks or less without having to leave your couch. For more information, go to forthepeople.com or dial #law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. Thank you Morgan & Morgan for being today's sponsor. Back to the video. Everybody's Golf was a huge push forward for the series. Instead of picking pre-made characters, players could now create and customize their own character. While there was a robust offline campaign, going online was where it was at. Open courses introduced the freedom of exploration on foot or by golf cart, and when players weren't hitting the green with their friends, they could fish and fill up their fish encyclopedia or take a dip and swim. Everybody's Golf was a push for freedom, but the server shutting down ripped out half of a game. A big part of the game advertised is now completely inaccessible. No longer can players enter the open course and turf war modes. An international tournament already wasn't available for a long time when the servers were active. Being unable to join open courses also makes gaining currency a lot more difficult. Currency is rewarded after completing tournaments, but it's going to take a lot of courses to build up your money. Shop items are very expensive. It also needs to be said that if you are a trophy hunter, there are 2 specific trophies tied to being online that are now unobtainable, meaning you won't be able to get that nice shiny platinum unless you earn those trophies before the shutdown. Everything you do takes place on Golf Island. It's the game's hub world for you to explore and decide what to do next. While there is freedom to run and explore, it ultimately pales in comparison to the true freedom that was found in online open courses. There is a racetrack to test out various golf carts earned or purchased, but off of the track, driving around the island isn't really fun due to the various obstacles in the way, and it's so small that you don't need to drive. There are 2 fishing spots, but again, since the online is shut down, the types of fish caught are extremely limited. This also limits the ability to fully fill up your fish encyclopedia, omitting anyone who didn't get the trophy associated with it from getting the platinum. Fishing can be fun, but ultimately gets swept to the side when, like driving, is an almost non-existent pastime on Golf Island. There is a professor who will quiz you on the knowledge of golf itself and the mechanics of Everybody's Golf. 3 quizzes are associated with your tournament rank and are multiple choice, so if you want an easier time and to cheat, you can find all the answers online. Completing all quizzes unlocks replay cameras and manual recording. New to the series are custom clubs. Once earned, there are 2 places to upgrade, repair, and purchase custom club sets on the island. You'll need these powerful custom clubs for more challenging tournaments later on the higher your rank is. The main bulk of the game can be found at the tournament tent. There are 7 ranked tournaments, each increasing in difficulty. Versus characters associated with each rank will appear for the player to challenge. Eventually, revenge characters also appear. There are even secret versus characters to unlock by getting a certain number of shots like eagles or birdies. You only have 1 shot daily to beat these rivals. Failing to beat them will add them back to the rotation to appear the next day. Currency, extra golf balls, and exclusive clothing and hair pieces will be unlocked through successful completions of each tournament, rank, and rival. Each rank contains a select number of gallery members, so it's important to always do your best in tournaments to get these characters added. These gallery members do appear randomly on Golf Island and will react to your presence or whatever type of emote you use around them. They can also be copied with in-game currency to your character gallery. This can be a great way to obtain clothing and hair pieces you don't own. Every once in a while, you can spot Shuhei Yoshida, who, if you don't know, is an important figure for the PlayStation brand. He was one of the initial members of PlayStation's origins in 1993 and has held a number of positions for Sony Interactive Entertainment since. Going to the solo stroke play kiosk near the tournament tent allows players to freely pick a course, number of holes, type of tee and cup if they like the course to be mirrored, and the type of weather for the course. It's a great way to get some practice in on the various courses or to test clubs and golf balls. If you're starting a new game, the first step is creating your very own character. Previous entries in the Hot Shots Golf Everybody's Golf series always had pre-made characters. While customization was available to a certain degree, players were never able to truly make their own characters. Everybody's Golf has a great extensive character customization feature, but the big negative is that a lot of the clothing and hairstyles need to be unlocked, which isn't a huge issue until you see that each piece has its own color and needs to be unlocked separately, ultimately wasting your time. The game features 8 available spots to create custom characters in that can be swapped out to your liking. To further expand the number of slots available, there is 5 paid character box expansion DLC packs, raising that number to 48 custom characters. These created characters also appear on Golf Island, but in an exclusive area made for them to relax. You can even swap to these characters from there. And if you're expecting guest characters like in previous entries such as Kratos, Sackboy, or Cat, sadly you won't find any here, and even today it's still a huge letdown. A main concern I had for the game was if the shop would be severely affected since new items rotate every month. Luckily, the server shutdown didn't affect this, and I can confirm that going from December 2022 to January 2023 that the items in the shop did change. You can find a fashion item section on the second tab that never changes. The third tab features various golf balls to purchase for different terrains and shots. The fourth tab features a lucky dip box, and this is good for unlocking clothing items and hairstyles. Despite it being random, the parts won will be parts you don't own. The fifth tab features all available DLC items on the PlayStation Store, and the sixth and final tab feature warp medals, but completely avoid this tab since Turf War is in online mode and completely inaccessible. Despite the lack of online features, there are 2 local multiplayer modes. The first is Stroke for up to 1 to 4 players, and the other is Match Play for 2 players. Like solo match play, you'll pick your course, the number of holes you want to play, the type of tee, the type of cup, if you want to mirror the course, and the time of day and weather you want to deal with. Players have the option of utilizing one controller for pass and play, or the use for up to 4 separate controllers. This is a great way to bring together friends and family for some golfing fun, and perfect if you only have access to one controller. Sometimes when a game's online servers are shut down, publishers like to delist DLC, even if the game is fully playable offline. It can all be very annoying. Luckily, Everybody's Golf has most of its DLC still available. Like previous games in the series, there are a number of DLC packs to purchase, though thankfully not as ridiculous as Hot Shots Golf World Invitational. There are 5 additional golf courses, 2 of which are recreations of classic courses from the PS1 era, 3 types of golf carts in various colors, which are ultimately pointless to use today, the 5 character box expansions we talked about earlier, and 2 custom club boosters. For some reason, likely after the server shut down, 2 DLC packs were delisted. Of course, both dealt with licensed IPs. The first was a live Chocobo golf cart from Final Fantasy, and the other was a pack of 3 level 5 20th anniversary collaboration golf carts. Ultimately, the most important DLC I would recommend to purchase are the golf courses. It adds more variety and more challenge to the game, and these courses will even be used in the tournament campaign. Sadly, any pre-order DLC or exclusive content earned in international online tournaments are nowhere to be found and were never given out later on. And there were some pretty cool items like this Final Fantasy Cactar jacket that I never seem to take off my character. Everybody's Golf is still a great game to play. If you were to play the game today, there is enough substance to find enjoyment without it feeling like a shell of its former self. Yes, there are flaws to be found, some that were with the game on day 1 and others that happened after the shutdown, but the classic gameplay many have loved since the series debut on the original PlayStation still remains. So go ahead, buy that physical copy, purchase it digitally, or if you're unsure about Everybody's Golf, try it on the PlayStation Plus game catalog. The server shutdown for Everblaze Golf should be a lesson learned to any developer out there. One day, online servers will shut down for a game. It is important to make sure a game that can be played offline is equal to or just as good as how the game was in its complete state. Not having access to open courses with the freedom to drive around, playing at any numbered hole, and fishing at all the available areas really hurts the idea of freedom and what this game is meant to be about, and it's difficult to see how this couldn't be a feature offline. But tell me, do you plan on trying Everblaze Golf for the first time, or perhaps you're playing it again? Maybe the server shutdown ruined the experience for you? Let me know your thoughts on Everblaze Golf in the comments below. Please be sure to like and subscribe for future content, and if you're in the mood for more Everblaze Golf videos, I have plenty more for your viewing pleasure. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.